here we are on Bitcoin, trying to decide if this is just a bounce or if we are going to rally from here after making this potentially ABC correction, and which may or may not be complete. The reason that it may or may not be complete is like it's the first of the levels where we've kind of done enough for it to be a zigzag. So here's our first swing. If we measure to this low and we project it from here, this second swing is now 61.8 of the first one, and it's also potentially 5 waves complete. And so it could be that we're on our way up again and this is the correction over. If we don't and we make an ABC correction, we come down to around the 8,000 area and we retest this 200 moving average down here. And if we do the whole fib swing, or if we overshoot, which Bitcoin very often does, then we're looking at sort of 7,400 for our next support. So the key question is here, are we going to launch away from here, or is this just another inside bar before we continue our journey lower? Well, I think a close above there's a couple of ways in terms of candlesticks, as we discussed last night. Above this daily 20 moving average, which at the moment is around 9,000, would be a good confirmation of a long. If we close, and at the moment we're just above it, but if we close the day in candlestick terms, more than 50% up on this big red down candle, which is what we didn't manage to do yesterday. 50% would be 89.40. Then that would also be a bullish reversal. So because we've moved more than 50% and closed above it. Another way, which I like, let's go down to an hourly chart, is if we close above the 236 fib, then we can normally say that a bigger correction or a bigger move is underway. We've just done that here on this hourly chart. You can see we're above this 236 fib. So short term, if we can hold above 89.40 or this hourly 50 moving average, we should continue higher from here. This next candle is not, it is starting to look like it was a little bit of a suck you in candle. To be honest, with these moves, I prefer the 4 hour, and that was a 4 hour close. So I'm quite optimistic that we can hold 89.40 and then hopefully keep going. But, you know, we're not out of danger yet. A lot of jumbled up moving averages. I am tentatively long. I did buy a little on this breakout here. And so I'm going to wait and see if we keep going. If we do keep going, even if it's just a correction, our first target, if it's just a correction, would be 50% of this drop and this hourly 200 moving average. And these previous highs, look at this support and resistance level here at 9299. So we're looking for us to continue here today up to 9299, and we'll see what happens there. If we stall there and roll over, we're still making a base potentially, and we could still go lower. But if we get above there, I think, you know, we can start getting optimistic that this correction may be over. Never for sure thing. One of the things that makes me think, and I know makes me think that we could still go lower, is I feel like in ETH we aren't, we are possibly not, you know, correction complete, and we've got another swing lower to come here. If I measure this swing low from this high, we haven't reached that 61.8 level yet. That's a little bit lower at 195. So when I look at Ethereum, I think maybe, you know, maybe Bitcoin will have one more push lower, but they don't always move together. They just kind of usually do. So that would be the issue with that one.